This is Tim Albright with AVNation, live from ISE 2018 in the Polycom stand. We say stand over here in Amsterdam at ISE in Hall 11, B140. I couldn't remember writing.
Yeah.
Along with me is Tim Stone. How are you, sir?
Very well, thanks very much.
And also Glenn Jones from Polycom.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're going to have a conversation here about what you guys are showing, what you're hoping to get from the show, but also a little bit deeper conversation about security, unified communications, and interoperability. So Tim, we'll start with you on this. You guys have been coming to ISE for well over 10, 12 years. Right?
That's right, yeah.
Why do you keep coming back?
Well, I think this is the biggest AV show, certainly in EMEA, maybe even globally. We have around...
Technically, it's the biggest one in the world, right?
Yeah. So there are around 70,000 visitors who come to the show. We've got a dedicated unified communications hall here. So we just get an amazing quality of audience of a lot of channel partners, existing and new, a lot of end users who are interested in seeing new solutions. We tend to get a good volume of leads from end users at the event that we can follow up on. And we get a tremendous ROI from the event. Also a lot of media, PR, social, following, and also the ability to meet lots of analysts as well and show them a lot of our new solutions. So yeah, it's a great event and we keep coming back.
And just to add to that, I think the draw, this is not just a European event.
Yeah.
You know, the draw for this is really global. I've been presenting and talking to partners and customers just today from Australia, New Zealand already, Far East. It's a very, very global event. So it's not just about Europe, Middle East, and Africa. It's a truly global event, and we love being here.
Let me ask you a question about that, because there are shows in Dubai, there are shows in China, in India. Why do you think this show specifically draws those folks who have shows in their backyard?
Yeah, I think it's the focus.
Okay.
I think the fact that this is about unified collaboration, unified communications, AV integration. It's the focus of the show that draws those the customers and the partners and resellers who want to understand the latest in the technology and the trends.
Tim, you mentioned connecting with end users. That's something that the leadership of ISE has focused on over the last few years. It's kind of how they've grown the audience. Why is that important for you guys to connect with those end users, people you don't directly sell to?
Yeah, well, it's really important for us because as you can see around this show, a lot of our major competitors are here. So we obviously want to show our brand and get our solutions in front of these people. It also helps us to connect with them in terms of our SEs, our sales guys, and marketeers like myself. Really get a good understanding of what those end users are looking for, and show them the latest technology. We also are speaking at a couple of booths. I've got a booth event tomorrow talking about the rise of the huddle room. One of my colleagues is talking about the workplace of the future. So it's also good to get our messages out around some of the key trends in the market to those end users.
Glenn, one thing that we've heard time and again over the last week, we've been covering the show, this is our 4th year, that manufacturers are adjusting their product roadmaps for this show specifically. Have you guys found that to be the case in Polycom?
I'm not sure that's the case for Polycom. I think we have a roadmap which is designed to meet the requirements of a global market, a global customer base. I don't think there's anything we do specifically for this event. We may choose to make product announcements here, so from a marketing perspective for sure. But in terms of an intrinsic product roadmap and direction, not for this event, no. Okay. This is it's a great vehicle for us as a manufacturer to try and, as Tim said, get our messages across, but get the latest technology in front of people. But it doesn't necessarily have an impact on our roadmap for this event, although we do take feedback.
Yeah. You mentioned your message. If someone is not, I'm not sure how you could not be familiar with Polycom, but let's pretend that someone is not. What is Polycom's message?
So Polycom is really about making sure that we can support what we deem to be a global requirement to have people working together collaboratively. Okay, and the messaging is all around that, and the technology and the solutions we provide are really, really focused at delivering that mission to a global audience, a global customer base. But you say, what is Polycom about? It's different things to different people. Okay. Polycom is known for its conference management in boardrooms all around the world. It's known for its video conferencing. It's known for its robustness as a brand and a value.
Well, maybe I could add to that and say one of the new messages we've sort of been using here is about human-to-human collaboration and really trying to, make the technology invisible to the user, both in terms of ease of use in starting a meeting, which really over the last 10 years has been problematic in terms of making it simple. So, press one button to start a meeting, making the user interface common across all devices, integrating with our partners such as Microsoft, Zoom and BlueJeans, these other sort of ecosystem partners I think we'll probably come on to. So really it's about that human-to-human connection and trying to allow people, as Glyn says, to collaborate seamlessly.
You talked about the rise of the huddle room. Where do you guys see that going in the next 2 to 3 years?
So the huddle room's been a really, really strong market for us. So what we've seen is across the globe, we recently did a survey on working habits and working practices. And what it showed is that people are really keen on flexible working. And what that means is that people are able to connect and work from any location. And certainly in the UK and in Europe, we find that there are many more open plan offices and hot desking happening in offices, which basically means that if you're in an open plan office, you need more of these smaller rooms where you can have a private conversation or a smaller private meeting. And these smaller rooms need to be equipped with high quality audio and high quality video. So that's where we're seeing the big drive. The analysts estimate there's 50 million of these rooms around the world, and the majority aren't equipped with video today, but the price of these solutions has come down quite dramatically over the last several years. We have amazing high definition video and high definition audio for kind of less than $2,000 to equip one of these small rooms. So that's been a massive driver of these small rooms being equipped with video now.
Real quickly, define for me, if you would. You use the term hot desk. What is that?
So that would be, a lot of people are moving to over occupancy in offices because of the cost of real estate. So, for example, often you'll have 1.8 or 2 to 1 person per desk, because the others would be working at home or remotely or on the road, for example. So it's a matter of having a hot desk where somebody can come in, log in, do their work. But of course, not all meetings you can do in an open plan office. So that's where these video on these huddle rooms is really coming to the fore.
When we're going to talk about interoperability,
Sure.
Right? Tim mentioned several of your partners, Microsoft being one of them.
Yeah.
When you guys go and look into a partnership with another manufacturer or another software developer, what are you guys looking for, and what are you offering them?
So I think if you look at this simplistically, a business partnership is about mutual benefit, and that's both for the organisations but also for the customers as well. And I think what we're looking for is to make sure that we can deliver together with that partner a solution which meets the needs of that end customer. We look at different trends in the business. We look at trends. Well, it's not a trend. It's a fact now. A lot of stuff is moving to the cloud. Video as a service is becoming a really key opportunity for small, medium enterprises to get into this video space. Video used to be about the larger enterprise or the government bodies. It's clearly moving. The market's expanding into SMB, but SMB does not necessarily want to invest in the capital equipment required or the expertise required to manage this type of environment. So video as a service, UC as a service become more and more important. I think we recognise at Polycom where our strengths are, and by default perhaps where our strengths are not. So what we're trying to make sure is that we are partnering with other organisations who can really bring to market with us, through our reseller and distribution partners, a complete solution for the customer. As Tim mentioned earlier, that these are organisations who perhaps in our past, and probably our recent past, we would have viewed as being competitive. And I think the reality of the marketplace is that as you become involved in any alliances or any ecosystems, there's always a degree of overlap. And I think it's really important that we as an organisation and our alliance partners recognise the overlap or the competitive space and deal with it, but understand that the opportunity is beyond either side of that. and drive that market very, very effectively. And we've announced relationships with clearly Microsoft, a lot of long-standing, BroadSoft from the voice perspective, again, long-standing. More recently, Zoom for video as a service, and even more recently, we talked about Blue Jeans, and here in EMEA, we're talking about Starleaf and also Videxio as well as key video as a service partners who are looking to take the benefit of Polycom's high-quality video and audio solutions to their customers with their cloud solution.
Is it something where their customers are going to them and saying that there's an area where they're not necessarily strong, and so they go seeking out partnerships?
I think, again, it can be either way. Okay, it's bilateral. I mean, they talk to us. This is a small business. We all talk to each other. And whilst you're doing that, you're looking for the opportunity to see what you can deliver together to the market. Are customers specifically going to those organisations and asking for Polycom? Yes, there's evidence of that. Are customers coming to Polycom and saying, look, it'd be really great if you work with that solution or that? So it's a complete mix of how you bring things to market.
But it's also, it starts with listening to the customer.
It starts with listening to the customer, it starts with understanding what the customer wants to achieve, and also figuring out how you navigate to that utopian place.
Yeah. Tim, let's talk about security for a second.
Yeah.
We have, in AVNation, we've done several shows and kind of delved into AV and network security quite a bit over the last year or so.
Okay.
And it's something that there are great integrators who get it, who know it, who drive it home every day. And there are some that are still struggling with the fact that their stuff is on a network, right?
Yeah.
So as a vendor, as a provider of equipment, how do you help the integrator get up to speed on what's required, and honestly, from the end user, from the people actually purchasing this, what they're looking for when it comes to security on their network?
Yeah. So in terms of, we're starting with what we do in terms of our own portfolio of products. So we have a design process in place now where everything that we build and create has an input from our security team in terms of the overall design of the product. So we start with that as part of the design requirement spec of any solution. We also have a team that are proactively trying to hack into our systems in a security.
An internal team or an external team?
Internally,
okay.
within Polycom, who are constantly trying to find vulnerabilities within the solution. So that team's in place, and then we've put a lot of layers of security into the endpoints, the infrastructure, and also working with our ecosystem partners. So, for example, we can encrypt the signaling from endpoints. We can encrypt the media stream. We have digital certificates, which mean that the endpoints will register with the infrastructures to avoid things like man-in-the-middle attacks. So, we've got a very, and to your question, so we have a security blueprint architecture that we recommend. We have professional services that can help partners in these areas. And obviously the sort of training and certification courses that we do. So we're pretty confident that we've got one of the most secure offerings available on the market, real enterprise grade. And it's borne out by the fact that we sell to government departments, defence departments, Department of Justice in the UK, for example, to run all the courts systems over it. So it's in some of the most stringent sort of secure environments, and it passes those security requirements. So yeah.
Real quickly, you use the term man-in-the-middle attack.
Yeah.
If I'm not a security person or an IT professional, what does that mean?
So that would be somebody intercepting the media stream between the endpoint and the infrastructure and listening in or eavesdropping into the data, so diverting the media stream. So digital certificates mean that we can authenticate both ends of the call to ensure that doesn't happen.
You mentioned the court systems, you mentioned departments of defense. Certain organizations do not want you to use their name or their organization, but those that will allow you to do so, right?
Yeah.
Does that speak to the end user who's maybe at a college or university that, court system trusts you? So we certainly should.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I mean, what I found throughout my career, and I've also worked in other companies in the security area, is generally speaking, people are pretty reluctant to go public and talk about security because it's well known that can really heighten the amount of attacks you get straight into the organization. It's almost sort of come on to the hackers.
Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, the sort of ones that we have public is it's very commonly on the BBC. I'm from the UK, obviously. Is the Department of Justice, who the courtrooms and the solicitors' premises and the prisons are equipped with Polycom video equipment, more than 2,000 units, run over a secure network with one of our partners. Where court hearings, I mean, that's a very secure environment. I mean, I already can't really talk about any Department of Defense references, but that's the kind of environment where we're working in, and a lot of banks using our technology as well, and it passes their security. I don't know if Glenn, you've got any other examples.
I was going to say was in the UK we don't have the Department, we have the Ministry of Justice.
Sorry,
Ministry of Justice.
Thank you, I was getting my American and British mixed up there.
One of the government organisations that are happy to be used as a case study is NATO. Okay. NATO do use Polycom solutions and are very happy to be quoted as a use case for their environment. So we suggest the security is pretty good.
Yeah, and so you can take that use case,
correct,
and go to your next potential client and say, look,
if it's good enough for NATO,
exactly.
It's probably not as straightforward as that, but that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yes. But I want to wrap up with you and Tim. I'll let you end on this. We're sitting in Hall 11 at ISE.
Well,
Hall 11 is to me the kind of unified communications collaborations pavilion.
Yep.
I'm hosting an event on Thursday. It's a talk about UCC. Give me kind of your where you see that this segment of the AV industry going. I'm not even going to say 5 years. I'm going to say the next 6 months to a year.
Well, good question. I wish I was a visionary. I think, on a serious note, I think Tim's hit that nail on the head with the huddle room. Obviously, being at Polycom, we've only been video conferencing for many, many years, and it's always been an environment which is great for the enterprise, for the boardroom, for the meeting room, for the conference room. I think the whole expansion of the market and the benefits of UCC are going to be into this smaller room environment. So we're expanding the marketplace. Both in terms of the types of rooms and the room sizes, and therefore the applications people are using UCC for, but also geographically as well, because we're starting to hit price points which weren't achievable many, many years ago, with solutions that are delivering the same, if not better, quality of solution and quality of experience to the end customers. So the drive is really about making sure that we can continue to deliver this high quality HD audio, HD video solution, which we talk about user experience as well. And a great quote is that the best UI is no UI, no user interface. Press to dial, click to dial, use your voice. Amazon Alexa, join my meeting. So all that kind of stuff where we're driving now, we're talking about it from a visionary perspective, is where the market will be in 6, 12, 18 months' time. So huge expansion opportunities.
Tim, same kind of question to you. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think Glenn's covered a lot of the main points. I think one thing maybe I'd add is the room experience is getting better and better all the time. So, for example, intelligent cameras that frame the users in the room, count the number of people in the room, so you can do analytics on how many people actually attended the meeting. Ease of starting the meeting. Glenn mentioned UI. Walk into the room, press a button. The meeting starts, all scheduled from your calendar. So the ease of use is getting better and better all the time. Amazing technologies like Sound Block, which when you're in an open plan office, screen out all the background noise from around you and put what's effectively an acoustic bubble around the user. So all of these kind of things improve the room experience that certainly at Polycom we have built into our room offerings. And as Glenn says, cloud, obviously, more subscription-based models, and we're partnering with lots of players in that area. Also, a lot of our channel partners using our infrastructure offer video as a service offerings as well in that space, more use of video, and to be honest, a lot better value for the end customer. As the prices of these endpoints have come down, the end customer can get amazing technology of a fraction of what it would have cost them 10 years ago, at a higher definition and better audio quality. So I think the user is getting amazing value all the time, and that means they can put video in places they could never have afforded before. So it becomes much more ubiquitous.
Kind of to Tim's point, the fact that as prices have gone down, you guys can go more places.
Exactly right, and that's exactly what we're saying, much higher volumes.
You mentioned video as a service. Is that something you guys see growing? And we were talking about kind of AV as a service for a couple of years, but you guys specifically, do you see video as a service kind of growing as a segment?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's relatively small at the moment, but the analysts do expect it to be growing. Depends which analyst you read, anywhere from the 20 to 30% CAGR for the next few years. So it's growing quickly, but from a small base. And as well as, obviously, we provide the software to our partners to offer services. We're also partnering with these growing VAS vendors that Glyn's already mentioned.
All right, I mentioned we were at the Polycom stand at ISE 2018, 11B140. Mr. Glenn Jones, thank you for your time, sir.
Pleasure. Thank you.
How do people find you or Polycom?
Glenn.jones@polycom.com.
Very good. And Mr. Tim Stone, thank you, sir.
Yeah, tim.stone@polycom.com, or my hashtag StoneCollab, which my daughters find very amusing.
Very nice. Very nice. My name is Tim Albright. If you want to find out more information about us, you can find us at AVNation.tv. AVNation.tv. Follow along as we bring you Integrated Systems Europe 2018 today from the Polycom stand in Hall 11, B140, or all along at AVNation.tv. AVNation.tv.